Hey everybody, MrBookieboo here, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I get a lot of comments and messages asking me how I build my various Lego creations. So what I thought I'd do is kind of walk you through my thought process for my latest project, which you see in front of you, which is a tunnel slash mountain for my Lego city Bricksburg. If you remember from my previous videos, this area here was a park, and the train tracks were beyond that. I had there was some trees kind of blocking the train tracks, but beyond that, there was nothing. It was just kind of wide open and kind of an ugly open space. I was never really happy with the way it looked, so what I decided is, hey, why not try my luck at some mountain building? I've seen a lot of good videos online, a lot of good pictures that people have posted of their own mountains, so it kind of served, I got some good inspiration there, which is kind of always the first place I start when I get an idea. I say, hey, I want to do this. I'll go on Instagram. I'll look at all the various, search in Lego mountain or Lego tunnel or whatever, pull up some good stuff, get some good ideas, and then from there I'll start kind of prototyping what I want to do. In this instance, the very first thing that I did was I had to determine the height of the mountain, and so what I did is I created the tunnel portals first, and you can see there's one already in place. This one will go on the other end, and what I did is I just basically put this down in between the two spanning the train track, and then ran all the various trains that I have to make sure that they would fit. So for me, this was the ideal height. It might be different for you if depending on the height of your trains. I was actually surprised, like Emerald Knight, for example, was much lower than the high-speed passenger train, which the little cantilevers on top actually give it a lot more height than I thought. So this will actually clear, all my trains can run through here without too much trouble. And so that was the first design consideration. The second thing that I started to do was I had to figure out how am I going to get some structure. Now in this instance, what I want to do is the mountain's going to be kind of flat on the top, and there's going to be like a lodge like on top of that with lots of greenery and trees. I might do some additional mountain slopes kind of behind, kind of something like that on top, you can see there, and that will just to kind of give the illusion of the mountain continuing on upward. But to start with, though, I had to kind of give it some structure. So you'll see these. I'm a big fan of using these burps because they can't really. I don't know, they're kind of people kind of say, hey, they're ugly and blah blah blah. But this is a great way to build up height quickly without using a lot of bricks. And these are fairly inexpensive online. You can find them on Bricklink. You can, I've been buying them in bulk lately, but you can get them from a lot of sellers. Seem to have these. They seem to be pretty common. Anyways, these are really good, and you can see I've already kind of laid out some of them here. What I do with the burps when I'm going upwards with height is I always kind of stagger them. So I don't put them like end on end like this because then it's too much of a sheer face. So what I like to do is I'll try to like stagger them at least like one stud back, and you can see kind of a side profile how it looks. If you want to get more of a gradual slope, you could go two studs back, like something like that. But I tend to go with the like just one stud back. It gives you a nice kind of it's a pretty rugged, steep incline, but it looks pretty good, the effect once it's done, and it doesn't take up too much real estate in the foreground area as well, which can be an important design consideration. So once I laid out those burps in the front, the back doesn't really matter because you're never going to see it. So what I decided to do was I'm just building some towers. I happen to have a ton of these castle turret pieces, and they're kind of ugly and awkward to use. And so I'm using these for the rear of the tunnel. And actually, if I take off these top pieces, you can kind of see, actually, let me get the camera zoomed in a little bit there too. You can actually see them in the background there. So that's how I support the rear. And then across the top, you'll see what I'm doing for support beams is I'm using Technic beams, which initially at first, actually, I didn't even think about that. I was like, how am I going to span that, and how am I going to make it so that the plates on top, will be supported adequately? And then I had like an aha moment, and I said, oh, Technic beams, of course, because I have like a gajillion of these and I never use them for anything really. So what I do with the Technic beams is they're about like 2 wide, so I just double them up to give them more strength, and then I just kind of span them. You can see how they span across the mountain, and then from there, you just simply lay your plates on top you don't want to lay them. You want to attach them. But for now, I'm just putting them on top because I'm still designing the mountain. So there you can see the plates are going to go on top, and voila, we've got a pretty nice foundation for our mountain. Still looks pretty ugly, but that's where the kind of the fun part for me comes in. So what you want to do once you have this kind of all set up and you have it structurally sound, you want to start adding like the detail and stuff. So what I do is I use tons and tons of angle bricks, the slopes, the big ones, the little ones, inverted slopes, you name it, I'll use it. And I have here, this is just an example of like what the finished rock face will look like. So it really masks that ugly plain burp that you can see here, where it's just this really plain looking thing. Here you see this is like just a sample, and this gives it much more of a looks more natural looking, more like a rock face or something that you'd find in nature. And to give you an example of what that actually looks like, if I pan over here, you can see my ion cannon that I made. This is kind of like the idea of what it'll look like once I complete the mountain space. So it looks pretty good. It's pretty sheer face, but it has a lot of texture to it, a lot of different angles, and it doesn't look like a bunch of plastic blobs that are stacked on top of each other and all ugly looking. This one actually uses 4 burps are hidden inside here, and you can see you can't even really see them in there at all, except for a little bit of the dark bluish gray peeking out here. So I still have a long way to go, but I hope that this kind of gave you some inspiration and ideas for your own mountain building. And I'll be back soon with another video and some progress and updates as I continue with this project. It's probably going to take me a little while because I have a few other things going on as well. I got a few other surprises coming with Lego Star Wars. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and leave me some comments. Let me know how you guys build your mountains. I always like to get those ideas, and we work together and inspire each other, and that's the great thing about this hobby is I've met a lot of great people, and we share ideas, and we're all kind of working on these amazing things, and it's just a great it's a great way to reach out and meet people and learn and grow in the hobby together. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back real soon with another video. Take care.